Welcome to this video. We have the Kona EV. This is Hyundai's limited trim model. This is the entry-level EV vehicle, I would say. So this vehicle starts around $43,000 with this one we have. It's got the home link, it's got the carpet floors and everything. Still pretty nice for an entry level. It also does come with the $7,500 credit, which is really nice. So this vehicle actually would come down to, I would say, around $35,000. You're also going full EV, so you're not going to the gas pumps. But again, you don't have to worry about EV if you've got a house and you're driving in town. This thing has a range of 256 miles, I want to say. We're going to do probably a 150-mile range test and see how it does. I want to see what the battery level comes down to. When I picked it up, it had 255 miles. I think we have 235 miles now. So let's see how many miles it drops, what the battery says, and then we'll do a speed test on this thing. All right, so now something that's different in this vehicle is compared to other vehicles. The chargers are usually, you've got some vehicles that have it in the tail lights, you've got Ford that has it up here, and then Hyundai did a little different on the Kona EV. It's currently right here, and at nighttime this glows. I don't know why they put these here. I like it, but it's just a little awkward when the door already can handle that. If they just put a seal, it'd be a lot easier. Now, charger-wise, let's see how it is. Try and get that charger in. It is not gonna fit, so it's a little awkward. So I guess if we brought it to that charger over there, it'd be closer, so let's give that a try. All right, so we turn the vehicle around. Every vehicle is gonna be different. The Mach-E, the Kona, the EV6, Hyundai's Ioniq 5. You can go on Porsche. Everyone's car is gonna be different charging-wise. Plus, the chargers are always gonna be different at every charger. But again, if you're at home, you're not stressing about this. If you're parking up to the wall right here in your garage, you just, boom, grab your plug it in. So you just pop this open. Right here, you've got your battery level. It's saying now it's 100%. It is currently, I wanna say 90%. So I'll just show how you charge it. Like I said, you've got these little things, they dangle. It's a little difficult to put them in, but once you, okay, there we go. So we put the bottom one in first, then the top one. All right, I can do that. We'll just pull these out. We'll grab the charger right here. Here you go. And then you've gotta twist the charger just a little bit and boom, you're plugged in now. From now, you'll go in the app, you'll approve it. So via the app, you'll approve it. It's gonna take a second. We are a member, so you can hear it booting up. We'll see if it goes through. I don't see any charger light. Oh, it's green. There we go. Now it is showing it's charging. I believe so. We're waiting. All right, so it looks like it wants to charge, but it's not. So let's check inside the vehicle. We'll go to EV. All right, here's all our charge settings. There we go. So we are currently charging at 24 kilowatts, but again, we're already past 80%. So we're topping off to 100%, which is only gonna take 19 minutes, which isn't that bad. I've seen vehicles that could take an hour after 80%. So just for 10% for 19 minutes isn't that bad. We're gonna get it down to 50%, and then we will see what the highest kilowatt speed is in this vehicle. Currently, it is 74 degrees outside, very cloudy. I think it's perfect weather. The vehicle says at a full charge in 19 minutes, it's gonna reach a range of 280 miles. Right now, we've got 237 mile range. Without climate, about 252 miles. And right now, something I noticed that's really cool is you have driver mode. So both ACs left and right are on now, but I guess to make it more efficient, you'd hit driver mode and you're not using the AC on this system. Actually, I'm curious if there's an AC vents in the back seats. So in the Kona EV, there is no AC vents in the back. You've got a charge port though. You've got a little slot cubby, which is very cool. This one doesn't have anything for the back seats. That one does. This is the back seats. They both drop down, and then there's your sunroof. Doesn't come back here. Now, let's take a quick peek at the back. We'll lift this up. I believe the seats can drop. I'm not sure. I don't see any pull switch. You've got a little cover right here, so when the window's closed, you're hiding all your stuff right here. I would say this is a pretty roomy back area. We lift this up, and you've got some little space right there for a couple other things. I'm not sure if this comes out. Yeah, so then you've got all your accessories that come with the vehicle. Taking a peek from the passenger side, you've got the passenger side right here. You've got a little cubby right here, which is very cool. Very similar to the EV6. We'll sit down. I would say you've got plenty of room. Mechanical seats, which is no problem. Some people like that, some people don't. You got your vents right here, beautiful little vents. This is definitely a different type of vent. Oh wow, and that's how they close. You twist it. Okay, that's cool. I don't know what manufacturer I've seen that, but oh, the Genesis I think has some of these, which is Hyundai. And then you've got regular vents over here. You got 2 cup holders, and for a sec I thought this was another cup holder, but as you can see, it's a wireless charger for your phone. I guess if you want to hide your phone, I'm not sure. Very similar to Tesla, the Model 3s, where the thing comes up, you put your phones in, cover up. I don't know if the latest Model 3s do that now, but I know in some they did. Really cool is you've got ventilated seats, you've got heated seats. Well, sorry, you've got ventilated seats and you do have heated seats. You've got heated steering wheel, all your different modes. Passenger and driver both have them. This is the controller for your transmission. You got your park, neutral, reverse, drive. It takes a little bit to get used to, but it took me a second since I'm used to either a dial or a shifter. In this one, you've just got the buttons. I've never driven so many vehicles like that, but I've seen other manufacturers with that. Full instrument cluster, or not instrument cluster, digital cluster, very cool. This thing is jam-packed with everything. You've got your EV, you've got, and I've got to admit, this thing is quick, it's snappy. My K5 isn't even this snappy, so I'm very interested if they've upgraded chips in this new model. What else? We've got HD radio. You know how this goes. Weather looks great, like I said. You've got pretty much everything. Bluetooth. No wireless Apple CarPlay. No wireless Android Play. Android, you know what I'm talking about. You do have to hardwire in. But again, if your phone's in here and you're plugged in a USB, it's out of the way. You wouldn't even notice it. You would have your Apple CarPlay. No problem. Now, let's check out the specs on this. Again, this is a 2022 Limited. We can get up 258 miles, but in this case, this one was saying we could do 280. That would be really impressive if we could. We can see if the Charger will get there. Currently, it says we're at 243. Like I said, this thing comes with every safety feature at $43,000, which is a really good price for this type of car. Checking out the surround system, we have a Harman Kardon surround system all the way around. You can see over there, front and back seats. I have to say, surround system sounds really nice. It's in the speakers right here in the door. The doors, you've got a plasticky and then a nice little leather spot right here, which is nice for the elbow. Some vehicles do the plastic. I'm happy they did that little leather. Got a little cubby right here. I have to say, this thing has a lot of cubby spots. Here, 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 here. You even saw back here. They're all over the place in this vehicle. I'm surprised there's not one right here like the Maverick. So let's take a look at the Kona. These are its regular running lights. They put the headlights down here. Definitely a little different, very cool. Got some vents right here for the front wheels. And then you've got your vents up here. I believe they open and close like all the other vehicles. I would say it definitely is a awkward design just a little bit right here, but I kind of like it. It's pretty neat. It's a little different. It definitely pops out. Like I said, you've got your sensors also, and then they did the two not headlights, but they did the same thing with the headlights. But you can see here your running lights here, and then your brake lights and reverse lights are down here, and I believe your turn signals. All right, so we've done about 3 kilowatts, which is gonna cost us less than 93 cents. I would say it's pretty impressive. So we'll see what a half battery charge is gonna come out to, probably around $10. With the Mach-E, full charge comes out around 20 bucks. but that's 320 miles in range, I believe. I don't know what the kilowatts in this battery is, so let's find out. All right, so taking a peek at it, this thing has a 64 kilowatt battery, 150 kilowatt electric motor. This electric motor, you could burn some tires out on this thing. This thing has a kick in sport mode if you turn on traction, turn off traction, and then what else? You've got a little onboard charger, which is very cool. I just found this out. The Kona EV doesn't have a frunk. I thought the EV6 was crazy, but no frunk on the Kona. What? It looks cool, I have to say. It looks really cool. I'm guessing that's the motor. This is the front drive shaft and everything. So I can understand why they did that, but like what they did with the EV6, they just at least had a little cubby right here where your charger could go. But I don't know if many people use a frunk. I don't know if I would use a frunk just yet. I'll find out in a couple months when I get my own EV. But I feel like this would be easier to maintain though. So I can understand why they did that. Or this was gonna be a actual ICE vehicle and then they converted it to an EV. Kona EV is charged. We've got 262 miles right now. I believe it can change if I hit drive mode. So we got 257, we got 269, and if we hit eco, 289. Wow. Okay. So right here, we're going to head down to Tucson. We're going to do a 90 mile down in Tucson. We're going to see what we're at. And then we're going to head back up. Currently, it says about an hour and 20 minutes on the recommended route. So let's go see. Well, first, we've got to go unplug it.
Guidance will...
For this trip, we are going to rock eco mode. So I am probably going to have ventilated seats off. We're in eco mode, as I said. And a fan is going to set to the minimum speed. We have at 1. You can see the highest. We'll set to the lowest. Our temp is at 62. So we're going to keep it around 62, about right there. Again, lowest fan, and on driver only mode. And for our paddle shifters right here, where you can adjust the braking, we're going to have it at 1 of 3. 3 and 3 is really, it brakes a lot, let's just say. So we're going to keep it at 1 of 3. We've got 253 miles. Let's go. So we are going to have the lane centering turned on, and we are going to have the highway assist also turned on. To show this beautiful lighting inside. I love the blue they picked. It reminds me, I just noticed this blue stitching they have, which is just gorgeous on these leather seats. I had no idea that blue stitching was even there. We are gonna put it on Hyundai's highway drive assist, and then we're gonna let it do the auto miles per hour, as you can see. So the vehicle is driving on its own and it's handling the miles per hour and everything all by itself. So we're just gonna stay at the highway speed and see what the battery is on this thing. We're currently pulling around 2.5 kilowatts average, but I'm seeing around 4 right there. So hopefully that comes up. Temperature just came up to around 80 degrees. So since we gotta stay up with traffic, we're gonna go 5 over. As you can see, we've got a 88 mile trip. We'll get there around 12:10. It doesn't say how much battery I'll have when we get to our destination. I wish it said that, which would be really nice, like some of the other vehicles. Now, for being a lower trim model of the EV market, being not an Ioniq 5 or an EV6, the performance actually is really stunning on this vehicle. After driving this vehicle on the highway speeds, this thing takes off very quickly. I don't know what the 0 to 60 is in my head. Here's the 0 to 60. So I would say it's comfortable. This is probably one of the most comfortable EVs I've driven. I just drove the EV6 the other day, and I felt way higher. And actually, something funny about the EV6 and the Ioniq 5 is the instrument cluster. So as you guys have seen, the instrument cluster's all the way up here. Well, Hyundai thought about doing something different in the Kona, which I am a fan of, is they put their instrument cluster way lower, and it's in my point of view. On other vehicles, it's up here where this screen is, and I can't see it because this top steering wheel is removing that view of that cluster. So I'm not sure what the engineering is with some of those vehicles in the Mach-E. It's low like this, it's very slim. In the Kona, it's a full screen. I don't know the exact size. I'm probably gonna go about a 13-inch display. I would say it's really large. You've got your miles per hour, you've got your miles per hour in the middle, you've got all your other safety features up top, letting you know what's going on, how much of power you're using on the right. It's like an RPM, which I really like. It's different. It definitely shows how much power, almost like a Rolls Royce, where it shows your performance, how much motor or power do you still have, which I really like. This thing, again, like I just said, is quick on its feet. This one doesn't come with a 360 camera. It doesn't come with blind spot camera. It almost seems like they're gonna do that because the UI on this cluster almost seems like it has some of those features like the EV6 does. So I'm not sure if that will be maybe a 2023 version. This is a 2022 also. So road noise on the vehicle, I would say pretty normal to any other EV out there. Now, I would have to say this is a very comfortable suspension Hyundai put in this but actually, yeah, in this EV. The Kona definitely has a really nice suspension. I'm super impressed by it. It's just very comfortable. The seats are comfortable. Again, you've got your ventilated seats, which I'm gonna turn on now at 2 of 3, which is just comfortable. Currently just riding at 70 miles an hour. We have the AC at our lowest. Again, like I said, it's on driver mode. So we'll see how this goes. We're currently 10 miles in. The speed is now at 75 miles an hour. So we're gonna let this stick at 75. A couple times might go 5 above just for a few minutes, let people to pass some people. And then we'll stick back at around 75. We currently have 254 miles. I think it went up just for a bit, and then now it's slowly going down as it's trying to learn our driving habits. So I'm not sure how Hyundai is evaluating their range on their vehicle. Every vehicle is different. Ford is completely different from Tesla. You can go on how each brand does their different range. I'm not sure how Hyundai does it with their Ioniq and their Kona. Definitely curious to see what our range is going to be when we get to our spot. We currently have 79 miles left. We're still holding around 75 miles an hour. Beautiful Arizona. Look at all the cactus right in the middle of the freeway. Currently, we are still going around 75 miles an hour. We have another 62. We still have 62 miles left. Battery range is around 88 miles. I wish we could see what's using up the battery like the Mach-E has, where it shows your climate and etc. Again, we're still set to our lowest speed. We're only set to driver mode only. We are pulling in 3.4 kilowatts. It's about 81 degrees outside, and we're still on the drive assist, just letting the vehicle drive on its own. And it's gorgeous out here. Mentioned also the AC is still at 62 degrees. I only turned it up by 1, driver only. It's just getting a little warm in here, but no biggie. The temperature is only 82 degrees outside, but that's definitely gonna warm up soon. So currently driving the Kona EV. I just found something out I thought was really interesting, is the charge rate on the Kona is only 75 kilowatts. So you can't really take advantage of the 150 kilowatt charger or 350 kilowatt charger. So I'm guessing travel wise, this is definitely not the vehicle to travel with, even though it's really efficient. We'll take a peek right now at the numbers. We currently have 200 miles in range, 72% battery, and we still have another 21 miles to go. It is averaging about 3.4 kilowatts an hour. Still doing the auto speed, auto drive assist. So travel wise, very hesitant now. I thought it was very cool that this vehicle comes standard with over 250 miles in range, but now that charge limit though, everyone said, I thought the Mach-E was bad with it's only 100 and I think 115, or now it's 150. They pushed it up. But definitely interesting that this thing's maxed out only at 75, which is very low. I'm curious if that's going to be something they'll change in a newer version, or if that's just something they're not really looking for, since this is more that city car. You take it home, you put a charger on at home, and you're not worried about speed wise. So I think it's about a 45-minute charge for, I don't know what percent, to 80%. So we'll find out when we get back to Electrify America charger. So we're still going to Tucson. We've got 20 more miles. So I'm debating if we should charge there. We still got a 70% battery. I think we have plenty to go back. So we'll give it a shot when we get back and see what the charge rates are. You have to see this. Now watch the speed. Actually, we'll just do it right here. So watch this. I'll hit the AC. Ready? Boom. Mileage just dropped. You saw it goes down to 177. That goes away. Then we'll turn it off now. So we'll turn it off, 185. We still have the AC on, but just not the AC, I guess, pump or heater, whatever you want to call it. But that's pretty interesting. It just caught my eye. We are currently 88 miles in. We have 3 miles left. As you can see, we've got a 64% battery with 178 miles left. So we should have, what, 60-ish miles back? As you can see, we are still pulling around 3.5 kilowatts an hour. Still holding that 75, 72 now, since radar is now pushing us back.
Take exit 244 on the right to...
Check it out. It's an EV6. Gorgeous red. Someone just bought a brand new EV6. I can't tell if that's a Wind or which one that is, or GT line. Gorgeous. All right, so we're 1 mile out from charger. We've got 170 miles. Turn back the AC off. So I've been turning the AC on and off every 15 minutes. Keep it cooled. It gets a little warm, cool it back down. I'm curious what other people would do. That's just how I would do it. It gets a little cold and then it gets warm. I just go back and forth. So we're almost 90 miles. Once we get to our little destination, 1 more mile. Yeah, I believe we're 89 miles. Here, we can check right here. I believe if I go down, yep, 89 miles. We've gotten 3.5 kilowatts an hour, 100, I don't know what I was about to say, an hour and 20 minutes, which is pretty normal. It said it would take us, yeah, about an hour and 25 minutes, I think. So we're gonna go park. We're gonna go look at the new Electrify down here in Tucson. Little spot. This is the Kona EV, and this is the Mustang Mach-E. This is the California Route 1 edition. You can see big difference in the rims here. I just noticed. Hyundai went all metal. They went plastic with theirs. Front ends. As you can see, the charger is right there, and then there's the Kona's charger. So it's always a little difficult depending on what type of locations you're charging at. But in this one, we would back up right there and we could plug into that one. Mirrors, here's the rear. Lengthwise, let's check that. This just has a couple more inches. This one is about 4 inches back. Here's the stats on the two just for comparison. We'll come back here, look at the rear. So they've got the little fin right here, little fin right here. Tail lights, they tried being very, very similar, just a little different. As you can see, there they are up close. I just realized the Mach-E has a rear windshield wiper. I did notice that in the Hyundai with their controls inside. And then this one's got sensors in the back. This one's the same. The Hyundai does not have front sensors. I did not see any, only just the radar. The Mach-E does have front sensors plus radar. So we are not going to charge. We are going to go back to where we started, which equals to about 90.6 miles exactly. We have a 63% battery, 175 miles. If I kick on the AC, 170, so not much difference. Right now, we're pulling around 3.5 kilowatts. We'll come down to here, 90.3, and that should come out to about 3 hours and about... We'll see how many miles and what the kilowatts is there. I'm not resetting it. We're going to drive 75 back. The only big difference is the sun won't be pointing on us. The sun will be to our backs this time. So we'll see if that makes a difference in the climate inside, if I use the AC as much or if I don't. So let's get started and see. Back on the road. 75 miles an hour, auto miles per hour, highway drive assist, lane keeping, everything is on. Pulling around 3.5 kilowatts an hour average. We got 165 in range left. I have the AC on. Oops, sorry about that. We have the AC on. So right now it's 170 now. And we have 86 miles to go. So keep you updated. We should be there at around 137. It is 12:21. We're driving an EV, but that is pure electricity right there, baby. Look at those giant motors pushing and going. Now I'm curious why I don't see that many diesel hybrids. I wonder what the reason is behind that. Or are they coming? Huh. That's a really good question. I'm gonna ask a couple manufacturers if they've thought about it or if they have and why they went to a gas engine. I feel like a hybrid diesel would be really efficient. If trains do it, just saying. We just hit 50 miles, 140 miles left in range, so we should have about 80 miles left. So actually probably a little less, we'll see. We've got 57 miles left to our destination. We're just going back to where we started. We're still at around 75 miles an hour. Highway drive assist, lane keeping, everything is still on. Temperature is starting to go up outside. It's now 85 degrees. We're holding 3.7 kilowatts an hour, a little better, pulling up from the 3.5 we were at. Again, still all flat land, nothing's changed. Turn the AC on and off here and there, on recycle, and still driver only mode, so it's only my side that's blowing. So I'll keep you updated on the next checkup. Now that is a setup. I don't know if you guys know what these are. These are actually video production, well, not RVs, but trucks. And these trucks carry either satellites, video equipment, everything. So I don't know what game. Usually these are for NFL, basketball games, everything. I don't know where March Madness is, but these things are so expensive. This is like a $30 million rig. This thing is insane. There's another one up there, so they've got 3 of them. These things are the coolest things to see. I love seeing these things. All right, we are at 38%. We've got 93 miles left in range. We've got about 26 miles left. Let's check out everything here. We're carrying about 3.7 kilowatts an hour, which is even better now. We're still holding around 75. We're actually slowing down since there's a boat right there. Let's see, what else? 75 still. We've got, we gotta turn that back off now. So our range just went back up just to 5 miles an hour, which isn't that crazy, but it's still something. I was like wondering why I got so chilly in here. All right, I'll keep you updated when we get to the supercharger. After about a 3-hour drive now, I have to say the seats are really comfortable. Cooling seats is definitely a plus in this trim, the limited. Wish more vehicles had it. Not many vehicles have it. My K5 doesn't have it for some reason, even though it's a GT, whatever, confusing. Super nice. It's been comfortable the entire time. Hasn't really bothered me. The only thing that bothered me was just these side pillars. I don't know, kind of gives like a race seat feeling. I'm wondering if there's a way to, I guess, fix that or adjust it, but there isn't, so it's not really that big of a problem. All right, we just got some snacks. Charger is only about 0.8 miles away. 29%, we got 74. Let me kick on the AC. Now we got 72. We'll see how fast this thing's gonna charge. I'm definitely really curious. Pulled in about 3.8 kilowatts an hour, which is really well, I have to say. Again, that was at 75 miles an hour the entire time. All right, we made it to the charger. We've got 29%. We're gonna let it charge to 100. We're gonna see how fast this thing can charge. We pulled in 3.8. The entire trip came out to 180 miles, about 3 hours. All right, we just initiated a charger. You can hear it going. We've got it plugged in right now. As you can see, it's showing 1 of 3 right there. And then it is processing right now. There we go. All right, inside the vehicle right now, it's saying it's gonna be 39 minutes to 80% at 72 kilowatts right now. which isn't that bad. And then if we want to get to 100%, an hour. So I have to say, at 38 minutes, I was expecting way more since it's only 72 kilowatts. But again, this battery is only a 72 kilowatt battery. If we do a full charge, we get about 290 miles. Pretty impressive. Things already got 30%. It's quick. There we go. We're at 31%. It's gonna go up to 80%, which currently we're 1 minute out. We are pulling in 73 kilowatts, which is, I would say, is pretty impressive. Again, that comes out exactly what Hyundai says this vehicle can do. So, hey, there's no throttling, not yet right now. It is, I want to say it is around 83 degrees right now. It's a little windy, perfect clear skies, and the beautiful gray. Look at this gray on this Kona. It just has like pretty pearl mixed in with it. I love it. So look inside the Kona. I've got it locked right now. If you look inside, it leaves the screen on of how much is left of charging and all the stats on there, compared to most vehicles where it disables the screen, turns everything off. But I do love that. So if the car was on, it would have more details, but in this case, since the car is off, you just see that right there. We've got two EV6s between the Kona. Beautiful. So this EV6 and that EV6 over there were both having issues. I just realized they could not get the thing to connect to the app. It wouldn't connect to the charger. I thought that was really interesting on how these both EV6s at the exact same time were having issues. I was personally thinking about getting EV6. I was very hesitant. Now I'm really hesitant after seeing that experience with these two. I thought the Mach-E was bad. So now that got me going with the Hyundai. Every single time plugging this thing in, haven't had an issue. Pretty impressive, Hyundai. I know these are your vehicles too, those Kias. So I'm curious what they did different in the Kona. It just instantly always starts charging. We're also around 70% right now. All right, so we just hit 81%. We're now at 25 kilowatts. It's been about 38 minutes. $11. We'll head inside, take a peek inside. We're currently at 201 miles, and we're about to hit if we go another 26 minutes, we'll hit 100%, as you can see, which we're gonna do currently, like I said, 202, and if we let it get to 100, it'll be 290. I believe that's without the AC turned on. With the AC, it's probably gonna be around 260. I can't see that unless, oh yeah, okay, so that's battery. Okay, so we can't, please use Fisher after starting the vehicle. Okay, so we can't see any of the features right there. So currently we're pulling in 11 kilowatts an hour. We've been in here for 73 minutes, less than $15. So should say, let's see how many miles if we check. It says about 6 minutes left and we can reach 290 miles. That's without the AC or anything, I believe. So if I turn that off, there we go, 290, well, 257 right now, so we shall see. It says about 6 minutes left right now. Right there, it is charging at 11 kilowatts an hour. So we're done at 96%. We just did that just to see how long it would take. As you can see, this is how you close it right here. First one in, and then the top one, a little awkward. And then you can see the battery status right here. As you can see, we're at a 96%, which is pretty much 100%. When you close this, if the car's locked, you can't touch this, but if the car's unlocked, it opens. Pretty much how all Hyundais and Kias are, so pretty easy. The Kona EV also has these little sensors right here, so you can lock or unlock versus a button, which I really like. Again, beautiful car, beautiful instrument cluster and everything. I score this car definitely 9 out of 10. That 1 of 10 I would take away because of range-wise, but I don't think if the range is still, well, not the range-wise, charging-wise, of how slow it takes to charge. We'll come into the EV settings right here. EV, and then we got 96%. There's everything right there about this trip. If it loads, there we go. 275. 30 minutes, 2 hours. So we're gonna get on the on-ramp right here. As you can see, this thing is quick. We're currently in sport mode. Plenty of horsepower. It's 201 horsepower. I want to say 150 kilowatt battery. So this thing definitely kicks your head back. We're getting on the freeway, very quick. Hitting that speed limit will show right there. As you can see, it's relaxing. So as you can see, the cluster is in my point of view right here. I can see it perfectly, even though the steering wheel is higher or lower than most people would drive. That's just how I like my steering wheel. In other vehicles, the cluster's up here, so you can't see anything like the EV6 and the Ioniq 5. But in the Kona from Hyundai, which they make the Ioniq 5, in this one, they did the cluster down here, which is in your point of view, and it's so much easier to see. The sun's not glaring on it, and it's just right there. With everything also, the Kona EV also comes with all of these controls right here. This is your home link, so your garages, whatever garage you have set up, you can set these all up. You got your SOS, you've got your, I'm not sure what this button is, and then this is like UVO, like Kia's version, well, Hyundai's version of what Kia's is. Really cool. This also is dimming, I believe, so when the sun's hitting on it or cars, it shouldn't be a problem. So let me explain more. So right here, these shifters are for controls. As you can see, less braking, and then with this one, it brakes way harder, which you can see right there. I can adjust it in real time, and then when you're driving, so if you go at a faster speed, and when you let go, it starts braking way harder for you. But if you turn it off and you go, it will just coast unless you turn it off completely. So that's what the shifters are here for. So the Kona EV doesn't have any 360 cameras or any parking system. But again, for less than $43,000, that's no problem. It does have backup sensors. As you can see, it will show the sensors of when we're backing up, which is very cool. Most cars don't have that. I wish every car came with that. Let's see if it will recognize it. There we go. And it recognized it. Also pops up right here in the center in the cluster, which is really cool. Perfect.